So let's jump right into this. You're probably here because you may have a problem feeling as if you're really accomplishing getting to where you want to be within meditation. This is the most common thing I hear. Don't let this stress you. It is okay. We all, even accomplished intuitives, struggle with meditation every once in a while. It's just the way it's part of our journey. It's part of our learning process. If everything came easy, it wouldn't feel like it was really earned as well. So we do struggle every once in a while with meditation and connection and all those things that make us feel that we are in connection with the other side. So what we're going to talk about really quickly today is I adjust my camera. Nothing I do is scripted, you guys. Everything I do is through guidance. So we're going to roll with this. So what we're talking about today is Shamanic Journey. And I feel it's really important to realize that there is no way to do this incorrectly. There is no way to do any spiritual practice incorrectly as long as you're going for the highest good and the lightest light and with guidance and protection. So when it comes to meditation, I'll tell you my personal story. I started 12 years ago now, and meditation was very difficult for me. I had a hard time actually slipping into the peaceful, mindful meditations that everybody else seemed to be doing. And what this did was it made me feel like I was failing at my meditations. And oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right. I'm not able to attain what everybody else is able to attain, all of those things. And no, I had nobody to tell me that everybody's different. Everybody does it their way. And when I finally decided to step into the healing aspect of things, because in my brain, I was like, oh, I'm never going to get this meditation thing. I gave myself horrible migraines because I would try so hard to get into meditation. I got to tell you, what I did to myself was I set myself backwards. My guides were going, she needs to learn more. She needs to learn more patience. She needs to learn more tolerance for herself, a little bit more compassion for herself. And that's exactly what it did. It made me step back. And that's fine. It worked perfect. It happened exactly as it was supposed to happen. What it did do is it pushed me more towards a healing modality. And when I started to work on Reiki, I'm a Reiki master and all that, but I started to realize that I really did enjoy the healing aspect of being an intuitive. And as I moved forward, I was looking for more than Reiki. I decided to try shamanism. Light bulb, shamanism. When I went on my first shamanic journey, it was as if the whole world opened up for me. My left brain, I'm very left brain, very analytical. I ran a business with my husband for close to 20 years. And we, when you have to be in that mindset and you're very left brain and you're a list maker and a task taker, you have a hard time sometimes slipping into those mindful meditations. Nobody told me. I didn't know. So I'm here to tell you, if you're a left brainer or if you just struggle getting into regular meditation, this may be the venue for you. This may be the avenue that's going to take you into that peaceful meditation where you can accomplish what you have set out to do. Shamanic Journey has been around since Paleolithic times. It is on cave paintings in the caves of Toulouse, France. It's some of the earliest cave paintings. So the connection that Paleolithic man, the Neanderthals, had with their guides was quite profound. If you can imagine that they didn't have in their life the static that we have in our life. We have electronics, the day-to-day grind, just the demands that we have on our lives nowadays. Their demands were just survive, don't get eaten from day to day. That seemed to be the important thing. So they had an immense connection with their spiritual aspect and their spiritual realm. Shamans were actually not selected by the closeness they may have had with the spiritual realm. They believe, scientists and anthropologists believe, that they were selected by their creativity. And I'll explain why this is important. When you link into your creativity and your imagination, all sorts of things are possible. Paleolithic man had no lineage to follow, really. They had a very short history. So they didn't have great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather that passed it down through a verbal or a written word to give them information on how to go about being spiritual and connecting to the divine. They had to depend upon their imaginations and their just instincts to reach out. So when they start painting on the walls and carving on the walls, what they're doing is igniting their imagination. And I'm here to tell you that your imagination is 99% of your intuition. You can't have one without the other, because our imagination is composed of everything we've seen, heard, touched, tasted, smelled, whatever in our past lives, our present lives, and our future lives. If that interests you, that's more Akashic records than it is so much more than we can go into right now. And that's okay. But our imagination is so integral to our spiritual journey that I invite you to engage it on any shamanic journey that you do. As you move forward on this, I want you to set in your mind that you're going to be successful. And the reason you're going to be successful getting into meditation is, I want to tell you, and I hope I'm not the first to tell you, that you may step into meditation or journey work and feel or hear or smell something rather than see it. Our meditations generally are very much in line with our clairs. Now, everybody on the face of the planet has a clair. Everybody is gifted. That's why I teach that, because we have that in our DNA. That's how the Neanderthals survived. It's how we've survived as a species till now. We knew what to eat because we could communicate. So spirituality and being an intuitive is in your DNA. And when you go to meditate, you may find that you are walking through a field, and we're going to go through that in a little while, and you may feel an energy in front of you instead of see them. Perfectly legit. Perfect for you. The way you meditate is always going to be perfect for you. So don't think that just because somebody else does it another way and they're successful that way, and of course, the way everything seems to happen. Wait for it to stop. I need outtakes and bloopers. I don't know how to stop the phone from ringing. So let's move on. I know, I'm not even going to cut it out. I'm just not going to. This is how it works in my life, you guys. It's okay. Welcome to my mystical life. So, I invite you to bring in your imagination. If you see purple unicorns, then see purple unicorns. If you see, let me put this on Do Not Disturb, because I don't want to have to do this whole video all over again. Okay, there we go. If you feel you're flying, then you're flying. I want you to incorporate all of those things into journey work. I'm so sorry. It just happens that way here. It just does. So, as we move forward, we're going to talk about our brainwaves. Boring stuff, right? So boring, but we're going to talk about it because it really isn't. When I first started to do shamanic journey work, I didn't understand why it would work for me more than other meditations. Our brain, when we're in meditative mode, will go into either delta or theta. The theta brainwave is what I call muggle brain or mommy brain. It is that brainwave where we're driving, we're doing laundry, we're doing the dishes, we're doing mundane tasks. Or my favorite is mommy brain, where you're just sitting there, the kids screaming, everybody's falling apart in the house, and you're just over here having a great day someplace else. So when we're in that brainwave, We have an active brain thought pattern going on, but we are disconnected, kind of. This is also the same brainwave you're going to find when you are doing guided meditations, or when you are doing self-hypnosis or getting hypnosis done for yourself. But it is also our shamanic journey brainwave. Delta brainwave is where you're going to do the mantra brainwaves, or turning into self, where you're examining your chakras or things like that. You're going to go into a much lower brainwave, and you're not going to have the thought patterns that you would in theta. So with theta brainwave and shamanic journey work, our goal is to set a goal. We want this to play out like a movie. Whether or not you see the visuals, you may feel as if you're floating. You may feel as if you're running or dancing or walking through grass. And as you go through your journey, your purpose and your intention should be to run it through like a movie. You should have an idea of what you want to do when you get in there, who you want to see, what you want to accomplish. And as you go forward in your journey, what you may notice is it doesn't play out exactly as you thought it would. It doesn't play out exactly as you laid it out, maybe on paper or in your head when you went to start. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Because sometimes as we go off into journey work, you're going to find that the moments that you deviate from your previously thought course are the most profound moments you'll find within meditation. I know that it's applied for me. I've had some of my most aha moments within unscripted moments within journeys and meditations. And if I had stayed on the path and said, nope, I'm doing it this way, this is the way I said I was doing it, I would have missed communication with some very high vibrating individuals. And I would have missed out. So we always do what we feel pulled to do. You may be saying to yourself, I'm going to walk down this path. I'm going to feel the grass. I'm going to hear the birds. I'm going to feel the sunlight. It's going to feel amazing. It's fantastic. And all of a sudden you walk into a rain cloud. Then stand in the rain. Maybe your guides are trying to help clean your energy. Then stand in the rain. And then when you come out, if you shake it off and you feel like you need to run and fly, then that's what you do. And it may be not what you thought you were going to do when you got in there, but it may be perfect for the moment. So create what you want. Set your intention for what you want, just as if you were manifesting anything else in life. And all of a sudden, the most incredible things happen. Within journey work is where we do our shamanic healings as shamanic practitioners. If that's something you're interested in, definitely message me on mymysticallife.com. I do teach a shamanic apprenticeship, so you can find that there. But the deep healing happens in shamanism. We deal with a lot of the stuff other people don't want to deal with. So a lot of extractions and psychopomp and helping spirits transition over to the other side. It's really beautiful work. Shamanic journey is the first step onto that path, or just a step in the direction of being able to meditate and communicate with your guides successfully. You may decide you don't want to take it any further, but I do hope that you get tons of information from this and feel that you're successful within your meditation. Because I do understand how depressing and how disheartening it can feel to feel as if you're failing at meditation. We're not failing. We're learning. We're practicing at all times. I don't care what level an intuitive is. They're always practicing. There are no masters on this side. We're all students, eclectic students. So just think of yourself as a student that is doing their spiritual practice, and be kind to yourself. It's important to be kind to yourself and speak nice to yourself. So let's talk a bit about how to get into shamanic journey. I suggest YouTube, unless you drum for yourself. And then in that case, I would record it and play it back for yourself. As you progress, if you have a drum, you may be able to drum and journey at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. But to start with, I suggest YouTube. They have a lot of shamanic drumming meditations. You can also find them with binaural beats. Binaural beats will help bring you into meditation easier because they are two frequencies, one played higher, one played lower, one in each ear. And what has to happen is it ignites your creativity. It ignites your imagination because your brain has to fill in everything in between. So if you can find shamanic drumming with binaural beats, that's what I recommend if you're a beginner. And the other things I recommend are some different basic tools. Have a blanket, have a nice soft blankie ready so that you can cuddle in. The reason I suggest this is because I myself personally, and everybody that I've worked with in shamanism finds this to be comfortable. And it's just a suggestion, but it helps block out external stimuli. So if you experience something, you know you experienced it. You know it's not the ceiling fan. You know it's not the wind. So I want you to really have an experience if that's what's going to happen for you. Earbuds, headphones. You really want to be wrapped up in that drumming, and also a cover for your eyes. It can be a wash rag, a towel, whatever. But what we do with that is we're blocking out the matrixing that we may do with our brain to create images behind our eyes with plays of light. So, eye cover, earbuds, a blanket, some drumming music, and you are set to go. So, now let's talk about how we get into Journey and why it's effective. Shamanic Journey work is all about immersing yourself in the sensation. That is why we cocoon ourselves up in the blanket. We want to feel comfortable and safe and secure. Speaking of safe and secure, grounding, centering, and protecting at the beginning of any spiritual practice is important. If you're not aware of how to really get a good foundation on this, please visit us at mymysticallife.com. It is important that you know how to ground, center, and protect, especially if you're just beginning on your spiritual journey. When we are just beginning, we tend to gather a lot more information because our guides are excited. They're like, oh my goodness, they're paying attention. They really want to push across information. So we get a lot of diverse information come across. And it's important to make sure that you're getting the good stuff. Personal occurrence. I brought home something nasty. I didn't know a thing. I didn't know anything about ground, center, and protect. And I brought something and attached to my husband. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. It's important. Ground, center, and protect. If you don't know about it, go to mymysticallife.com. Late bloomers classes, we give a good foundation on all of that. So when it comes to just assuming we've done that, or we've grown our feet into the ground with big, deep roots, connecting with Gaia, we've found the center of our soul so we can live right here, right now, in this moment, and we've called in our protection. Personally, I call in Archangel Michael. He really covers my butt on so many different areas and so many different times that he is fantastic to call in. If you could consider that angels are not a Christian energy, but they supersede all of that, then that should change the way that you view that if you're against using angels. I consider them very much on this, they're very high vibrating, they vibrate almost extraterrestrial. So that's why I suggest that. Now, as we move forward into a journey, you're going to lay down, or sit up. I prefer to lay down when I journey. I don't want to have to worry about anything, so I usually lay down, cocoon myself and all of my stuff, and then I will turn my drumming on. And as you are in your drumming, really immerse yourself in that. The drum beat vibration resonates somewhere within that resonation of each drum with the same vibration of the planet. So it's really this diverse energy that's trying to pull you into meditation. So let it do that. Let it do its thing. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, as you are lying there, and if you go to mymysticallife.com, you'll find in the meditations tab that there are several guided meditations that will walk you through how to reach your Akashic records or animal totems or things like that. Your first one, when you step out into a journey, my suggestion would be to visualize and set in your mind that you're going to walk across a very, very wide field of grass and wildflowers. And as you walk along the field, you should be visualizing the grass, the green grass, as it brushes against the bottom of your hands because it's so tall and beautiful, and the wildflowers with their colors, and the wind as it goes by, and you can hear the birds. All those beautiful things that you would experience if you were standing in the middle of a field and just watching the wind move the grass. That feeling needs to be incorporated into your meditation. I also incorporate a stream so that as I'm walking, I feel the rocks under my feet and the water as I step through the stream. And I do all of this very slowly so that I can incorporate all of those sensations into my journey. The more you can incorporate, whether it is the feeling, the vision, the hearing, the smelling, whatever it is, it's perfect for you. There is no fail. There is no fail. There is, maybe I'll try again and I need to bring in something new. Or I've had people say, I can't do this. I'm not successful. And I say, okay, let's analyze. What did you experience? Did you see the woods? Because sometimes I start with woods. No. Okay, did you see the field? Well, I felt the field, but I heard the birds. So we're already narrowing this down, this person's clairaudient. Okay, so there's so many things we can learn within meditation just by hearing somebody's recanting of it, or regurgitating, or however you want to put it, of what they experienced. So just know that there's so much information within there. And even if you just lay there and you feel as if you are caught up in a whirlwind of wind or whatever, let it take its natural course. My suggestion for your first journey is to visualize. I was laughing about the phone call, sorry. then I'm going to leave it in here. My first thing that I do when I'm going to do journey is I have a bonfire across the field that I can see, just a big, beautiful bonfire with seats sitting around it. And I take my time walking across that field, experiencing everything, asking animal totems to come in and calling upon guides to come in and meet you at that fire. When you get to that fire, if you don't see anybody, it's okay. Have a seat, sit down, and in your imagination, in your visions, close your eyes and wait until you feel an energy around you. That's perfect. Or if you get to the fire and you feel as if you need to move, then move and follow that movement wherever it takes you. So that is the basics of shamanic journey work. The drum beat is important. If you go to YouTube and you are going through and they just don't sound right to you, move on. Find the next one. I find it easiest to start with a slower drum beat or one that builds gradually. Keep in mind that when you're done journeying, write everything down, everything. If you saw a bird, if you heard a bird, if you felt the stream, if you heard giggling, if you felt a guide or saw a guide or the fire was a different color, all of these things need to be logged down and written down, because you may have an aha moment there, you just don't realize it yet. So if you have questions, come to My Mystical Life, either on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, Instagram, My Mystical Life, and ask. We have wonderful communities of people that you can find on the late bloomers, healers, and intuitives. They are all students that have been through courses and should have pretty good answers for you. At least I hope they do. So if you have any issues, don't hesitate to contact, because I understand. I didn't start till I was 38 years old, and let me tell you, it can be a struggle when you're trying to do it by yourself and you don't have anybody to help you. So we're here to help. We hope to help you feel like you have community, which is so important to realize you're not alone. And I hope to see you on our feed sometime. All right. Have a great afternoon, and I do hope this was helpful. Many blessings. Find love, find joy, feel divine, because you are. And I'm sorry about my phone call, but I'm leaving it there. All right, guys. Hope this was helpful. Talk to you later. Bye.